Okay, let's look at the top two Medicare supplement options in the market for 2020 and beyond. Let's get right to the presentation. Originally, there were a total of 15 Medicare supplement options to choose between. Plans E, H, I, and J were discontinued years ago, and plans F and C will no longer be available to new enrollees starting January 1st of 2020. If you have one of these plans, you can keep it. But if you are enrolling into Medicare after January 1st, 2020, you'll only have 9 plans to choose between. The 9 plans range from Plan A to Plan N and cover some of the gaps in original Medicare. We will be looking into the 2 most popular plans and, in my professional opinion, best plans, instead of confusing you with all 9 different coverage options. As you can see, the most popular plans in 2017 were Plan C at 6%, Plan F at 55%, Plan G at 13%, and Plan N also at 10%. Now, these 4 plans make up 84% of the entire Medicare supplement market. We will only be focusing on plans G and N because F and C will no longer be available to new enrollees, and the rest of the plans have been losing a large amount of enrollees in the past few years. Most of these plans are losing enrollees because they have priced themselves out of the market or they are no longer competitive. Plans K and L have seen a modest increase, but this is only because they have so few enrollees in their plans. Plans K and L only added 7,500 new enrollees compared to Plan G and N adding 435,000 new enrollees in 2017. Looking more into plans G and N, you can see why they are the most popular plans and why their market shares are growing so quickly. Plan G is very easy to understand, with it covering 100% of the gaps in Medicare, with one exception. That exception is that Plan G does not cover your Part B deductible. The Part B deductible in 2020 is $198. The last plan we will be comparing is Plan N. Plan N also does not cover your $198 Part B deductible, much like Plan G. There's also a $20 copay for doctor visits and a $50 copay for emergency room visits that do not result in inpatient admission. Lastly, Plan N does not cover Part B excess charges. Part B excess charges are where some doctors or specialists can charge up to 15% more than what Medicare is willing to pay for a test, surgery, or procedure. Excess charges are pretty rare, but we still need to take them into consideration when making a decision. Monthly premiums for plans G and N are different from state to state and even in different zip codes. In order to compare these plans fairly, I averaged out the cost for these plans in the 7 states I currently service. I picked a random zip code from each state and ran the rates for 65-year-old males and females. I then chose the least expensive A-rated company. After running the numbers, I came up with an average cost for each plan. Plan G was $104 on average, and Plan N was about $19 less expensive per month, or $85 on average. This is very consistent with what you'll find throughout the United States, and the prices make sense with Plan G costing a little more and having a little bit more benefits than Plan N. And just a heads up that there are some states that cost substantially more than the rest of the country. So make sure to work with an independent agent like myself to compare prices. Now let's compare Plan G to Plan N. After some simple math, you'll find out that you can save about $228 a year with a Plan N over a Plan G. But you do need to factor in Part B copays with Plan N. The $228 difference between Plan G and N is equivalent to 11.4 $20 office visits or 4.6 $50 emergency room visits. So you would have to have quite a few office visits or ER visits to make up the difference in cost. But don't forget about Part B excess charges with Plan N. You can usually avoid these excess charges by working with doctors that take Medicare Assignment. One last thing I'd like to point out between these two plans is about their rate increase history. I've been working in the business for 6 years, and I've noticed that Plan N has had lower rate increases on average than Plan G. This trend will most likely continue, with Plan G taking on the guarantee issue responsibility of Plan F. Now, which plan is the better of the two? Well, I'd have to pick Plan N in most cases. It's close between Plan G and N, but the safer long-term bet is with Plan N. It has a better rate increase history, and not many people need to go to the doctor 10 times in a year to make up the premium difference between the two. Now, if you have a chronic condition, I can understand wanting to go with Plan G over Plan N. But I would only recommend that if the difference between the two plans was less than $200 a year. And remember, if you do pick a Plan N, just always make sure your doctor accepts Medicare Assignment to avoid any excess charges. And most doctors do accept Medicare Assignment, so excess charges are usually not a big deal at all. Thanks for taking the time to check out this quick presentation, and I hope you found it useful. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe to my channel for future Medicare updates. And if you're still a little confused about how Medicare works, make sure to check out my Medicare 101 video as soon as this video ends. You will find it in the bottom right-hand corner of the end screen. Have a wonderful day.